the great contradiction. In the 80s and the early 90s, the music culture of Manchester turned a dead city centre into a vibrant city centre, so much so that in the late 90s and now, people are flocking to live in that vibrant city centre. The only thing is, they want to get rid of the vibes. Look at this block, loads of apartments and flats. This building should be saying, look at the new Manchester. Instead, it's saying, turn that music down. I'd like to get a personal point out of the way at this point. I was recently attacked in a local newspaper for apparently being a whinging NIMBY myself. I had attached my name in objection to this place being turned into a lap dancing club. The journalist, and I use the phrase loosely, hadn't even bothered to ring up to ask why. I always thought journalists were meant to do that. Never mind. The reason is, this building is 3 yards from my front door where I live with my partner, who's a lovely lady, my daughter, a lovely girl. Red light, sleaze, 3 yards, that's a question. Music is different. This place stopped being a club about a year ago. And for that year, I have really missed the sound of drum and bass every Friday and Saturday night banging my walls away. I miss the music because this is a music city. The new people in this city want to miss out the music altogether. I put it to Councillor Pat Carney, city centre leader, that there was a growing conflict between people living in the city and the life of the city.
It comes down to what kind of city you want to live in. We want a prosperous city, we want a very exciting city. People want some of the loudness of the city centre. I've lived in Manchester city centre now for 10 years. There are problems, but we will put sensible compromises together. Because what most people want, most people in the main, Monday to Thursday, want very peaceful nights, in the main, as a general rule. Then the whole 24-hour city concept, which we've pushed in Manchester over the last 10 years, mainly applies to the weekends.
That compromise, Friday, Saturdays, noise, rest of the week is okay. It works for you, Pat, I know, you live around the corner here. It works for me, where I live on the other side of town. Can you persuade these complaining residents?
That is our responsibility, to put together the compromise between the residents and the entertainment industry.
But there is one answer, at least for new builds like this, the Conran Design Loft at 25 Church Street. And the answer is in the ceiling and below my feet. It's called soundproofing. So what do we do now? I know who I would like to ask for advice, but sadly that gentleman has passed away. The gentleman who had the vision of city living in Manchester. His name? Alan Roberts, a great housing chairman here in Manchester, later a great MP in Bootle. He, for example, nearly 20 years ago, had these council flats built in the city centre. Even before that, he persuaded Wimpey's to build this private development, St John's Gardens, back in the 70s. He was a visionary. What would his answer be today? These fantastic urban spaces were created out of the live city culture. Destroy that live culture, and you destroy these fabulous spaces. I have the answer for Manchester. And for Liverpool, because the club scene over there is so fantastic at the moment, it'll make people move into the city centre, and then they're going to want to close the clubs down. The answer is, no one moves into a city centre property without signing a disclaimer that I will not unreasonably object to city centre life. You just cannot want to live in the city and yet also destroy the life of the city. And maybe Pat's compromise is the answer. Weekends, weekends. If you want to live somewhere like that, and they were queuing up before Christmas to get places in there, then at the weekends, get down or get back to the suburbs.